Welcome back to the Aslan Health Podcast. I'm Dr. Mike Hauman. We've reached the Renew episode in our series on sleep. We revealed the truth about sleep, what it is, why it matters, and what poor sleep costs your body, mind, and soul. Then we reset the practical issues that affect your sleep, what to stop, what to start, and how to build sleep hygiene that actually helps. Today, we move to renew your sleep with tips for a life filled with real rest, refreshing, rejuvenating, revitalizing, regenerative, and restorative. When it comes to your overall health and wellness, the goal is not simply maneuvering to manufacture the occasional solid night's sleep. It's much more important than that. The goal is to become a person living with healthier lifestyle rhythms, building a life that your body can sleep in, a life that is wisely ordered following your Creator's design, a life where true rest is no longer an afterthought, but a form of authentic abiding and surrendered stewardship. If you're ready to renew your rest for a lifetime of benefit, don't sleep on it. Let's go.
Welcome to the Aslan Health Podcast, where science meets soul. Your host for this program is Dr. Mike Hauman, an experienced physician, a certified functional medicine provider, a certified insight coach practitioner, and a devoted follower of Jesus Christ. If you're tired of feeling stressed out, exhausted, overwhelmed, or stuck in survival mode, you're in the right place. So take a deep breath. Let's be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Here's Dr. Mike.
Let me begin today with an analogy. Think of nurturing good sleep like cultivating your garden. You cannot scream at the seeds and demand tomatoes by sundown. You cannot command growth by glaring at the soil. But you can prepare the ground and facilitate proper conditions, providing water, light, protection, support, nurture, fertilizer, and of course, patience. Then, in time, the growth happens, the harvest arrives, and the fruit of your labor is enjoyed. That is how long-term sleep renewal works. You cannot coerce your body into perfect sleep, but you can cultivate conditions, cooperate with your design, and nourish a restorative rhythm. Then, over time, your body will respond. Now, before we go any further, I want to say something tenderly to the exhausted listener. Some of you have been trying for a long time. You've improved your sleep hygiene, you've reduced your caffeine intake, and darkened your bedroom. You tried magnesium and sleepy time tea, white noise, breathing techniques, a new mattress, and even that expensive pillow that apparently was supposed to descend from heaven and solve all your problems. And still, you struggle to sleep. Friend, that does not mean that you're failing, but it may mean that you need a precise evaluation, because not all sleep problems are the same. Some people have insomnia from a variety of treatable underlying medical issues like sleep apnea, chronic pain, clinical depression, and medication side effects, to name a few. But I find that most of us are actually just stressed out, overwhelmed, and physiologically overactivated. And wisdom here begins by knowing, understanding, and respecting the difference. So by all means, if you have an underlying medical condition driving your sleep issue, see your healthcare provider for additional management. But be encouraged, as these principles apply to virtually everyone pursuing salubrious sleep. So let's renew our rest together in 5 key areas. First, renew your respect for rhythm. Your body loves regularity. One of the best things you can do for sleep is to keep a reasonably stable wake time and to reduce the dramatic swings in schedule that throw off your internal clock. Sleep regularity has been associated with lower mortality risk and lower cardiovascular event risk. So if you've not already done so, please listen to the Aslan Health Podcast series on circadian rhythm for more details. Rhythm renewal often looks less like hacks and more like habits. not chasing the perfect gadget or obsessing over your sleep score, not treating your wearable like a prophet, just establishing and maintaining a reasonable rhythm. Lamentations 3:22 and 23 says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." Morning and evening, new mercy in daily rhythm, that is faithfulness over frenzy. Second, renew your approach to sleep disorders. Friend, if you are chronically unrefreshed, nodding off in the day, snoring heavily, gasping, waking with dry mouth or headaches, or being told by your partner that you stop breathing in your sleep, that's not a sign to simply work harder on your sleep hygiene. Those are important warning signs for sleep apnea, and they deserve medical attention. Do not default immediately to sedative prescriptions. If you happen to be a shift worker or you frequently travel across time zones, you may be dealing with severe circadian misalignment. And for you, the timing of light exposure, darkness, circadian stabilization, and in some cases melatonin can matter quite a bit. Bright light therapy has been shown to benefit for shift workers in reducing sleepiness and shifting your circadian phase. Personally, I found that a product called the Go Light to be very helpful here. Friend, this is why renewal includes humility. Not every single sleep struggle is solved by a better bedtime playlist. Sometimes wisdom means asking for help, and asking for help is not weakness, it is wise stewardship. Third, renew your thinking about supplements. Supplements are not saviors for the sleepless. However, they are very often quite helpful, particularly during the implementation of any new sleep hygiene habit, like those discussed last week and again today. I've used scores of products in this category, and I included my 3 favorite recommendations in a downloadable document available in today's show notes. If you prefer, subscribe to the weekly Aslan Health newsletter to receive this information straight to your email inbox. So let's begin with my favorites. Melatonin. Melatonin can be helpful in certain circadian rhythm problems like jet lag and sleep timing issues. Now, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine does not recommend melatonin as a routine treatment for chronic insomnia in adults. However, I do find that it's very helpful to induce sleepiness. Now, melatonin is not a universal make me sleep button, but it is a natural hormone that your body already makes. It's more like a timing signaler than a sedative hammer. I prefer melatonin liquid so that the dose can be adjusted as needed. That's called titration. Begin at the lowest effective dose, which is usually just 1 milligram. Next, there's magnesium glycinate, which I discussed in great detail in the podcast series on magnesium. I find that 200 to 300 milligrams of magnesium glycinate in the evening to be quite calming and helpful for many people. Now, I also use and recommend a combination of multi-ingredient products that address sleep issues along a variety of biochemical pathways. I have included my favorite 2 products in today's show notes as well. In those products are included ashwagandha, valerian, L-theanine, saffron, passion flower, lemon balm, chamomile, GABA, and 5-HTP. These are all in specific combinations to promote and sustain restorative sleep. One of these products contains melatonin, and one does not. So if you don't prefer melatonin, select the other. These options are also available in the Aslan Health Dispensary if you're interested. My counsel here with supplements is very simple. Do not let supplements replace the pillars of a long-term quality sleep strategy. Think of them as a temporary support, not a foundational necessity. Fourth, renew your nervous system, not just your bedtime. This is where many people miss the deeper issue. They mistakenly think that the problem is just a nighttime issue. But your sleep problem may have begun at 8 o'clock that morning, or 3 months ago, or 5 years ago. Because if you spend your waking day in fight or flight, overcommitted, overcaffeinated, reactive, resentful, rushed, and raucous, then don't be surprised by your nervous system's bedtime protest. You cannot live at a perpetual sprint and then expect your system to glide into absolute stillness on command, because sleep follows downstream from the life that precedes it. Jesus knows us, and he graciously extends the invitation found in Matthew 11:28 and 29, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Jesus does not demand, "Get more sleep." He graciously offers an invitation, "Come to me." Some of you are physically tired. Others are soul tired. Many are both. Friend, part of the renewal is learning that your soul was never meant to carry an impossible, unending load alone. You are made for communion with the one who can truly restore you. Do yourself a great favor. Make the decision to abide in him today. Fifth, renew your view of sleep as an active trust, not wasted time. Our culture tends to admire productivity more than peace, output more than order, and performance more than presence. For this reason, sleep can feel unproductive, like a lost opportunity for more. But Scripture consistently pushes back on that perspective. Psalm 23, 1 through 2 reminds us, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters." Did you get that? David said, "He makes me lie down." Sometimes the wisest thing you can do is not another hour of striving. It is rest. This is not laziness or avoidance. It is God-ordained encouragement to rest. Sleep is one of the regular ways that God reminds you that your life is sustained by his grace alone. Well, with that said, let me make this very practical and give you a sustainable sleep renew plan. Here we go. Begin with a consistent wake time. Get morning light. Move your body most days. Set a caffeine curfew 8 hours before bed. Adjust intense exercise to earlier in the day. Reduce or eliminate alcohol, especially near bedtime. Dim your evening lights and eliminate blue light exposure at bedtime. Establish a repeatable wind-down routine. Protect your sleep space by making it dark, cool, quiet, and comfortable. Select sleep aids and supplements wisely and temporarily if needed. Do not drag your burdens into bed with you. And if you are truly struggling, seek appropriate evaluation rather than sleeplessly suffering in silence. That, my friend, is your clear path to sleep renewal. And if you really want to analyze the nuances of your routine to see what makes the biggest impact for you, then consider a wearable, as I discussed in our HRV series. I have personally found sleep tracking to be phenomenal in fine-tuning what truly moves the needle for me. But be careful, as obsession over your numbers can become its own form of stress. The data should serve your progress and peace, not replace it or sabotage it. You are a whole person, not just a sleep score. And as we close today, let me speak to those who feel discouraged. Maybe you're like I once was, and your sleep has been poor for years. Take heart. Progress is possible. Life is a marathon for the master, not a sprint to oblivion. 2 Corinthians 4:16 reminds us, so we do not lose heart, though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. Did you catch that? Day by day? That is how renewal works. At the end of the day, sleep is not merely about being less tired tomorrow. It's about becoming more whole, more present, more patient, more emotionally steady, more physically restored, more loving, giving, and serving, more able to hear that still small voice of God clearly, and as a result, ultimately to become more like Jesus. Friend, better sleep will not make you holy, but chronic exhaustion will make many parts of your life much harder than they need to be. So today, receive sleep as a gift. Pursue it as stewardship. Protect it with wisdom. Seek help when needed, and arrange your sleep to become less of a chaotic battleground and more of a place of comfortable surrender. Just as the psalmist remarks in Psalm 3:5, I lay down and slept. I woke again, for the Lord sustained me. That is one of the more peacefully powerful verses in all of Scripture. I lay down, I slept, I woke again. The Lord sustained me. Not by my effort, not by my striving, but the Lord, He sustained me. My friend, may that be true for you tonight and always. This is Dr. Mike Hauman with the Aslan Health Podcast. Thank you for joining me through this series on sleep. Please subscribe and follow the Aslan Health Podcast so you don't miss an episode, and don't forget to download the resources I provided in today's show notes. Until next time, may you lie down in peace, rise with renewed strength, and walk in the unshakable confidence that the God of the universe, who never slumbers, is watching over you even while you sleep. Rest well, my friend.